Okay, I'm back trying to fix this Avanti heater motor, and it's built on a Caprice chassis, and everything is inside there, so you can't take it out like on a Caprice, a Chevy Caprice. You can't just pull it out, or any GM product for that matter. You got to go from the inside, and it is really, really difficult. But what happened was this was making a lot of noises, and so I assumed there was some debris in here or whatever, but I wasn't sure. And then it one day just quit. And then when I went and checked, the fuse had blown. I replaced it, immediately blew again, and this motor had seized up. So that's when I said, well, okay, I got to take this whole thing apart and put a new motor in. And, I did that. And in the process, I found out, well, the motor that I ordered a new motor, and that motor, the shaft was longer than what they claimed, so it wouldn't work. So I still, I got stuck with that off of eBay, and I pulled this apart, and I got it to where it's working great, and I think I'm better off because from what I could see, the one I bought off eBay was a brand new thing from God knows where it was made, and it only gave you like a 3-month warranty or something like that. And I know this is much, way more stout, but this thing's got to go up in here, and you got to that square box opening you see there has to go up into here, and I'm not going to put it in now because I haven't got 2 hands, but you got to get this thing in there, and once I get it up in there, it's working now. The motor's working fine, and it's not making any noises, but that was a lot of doings too. That's once I get it up there, I hold it up with these block and wood, but that's going to what happens is once you get this in there, and this is up in there, and you got to get these wires loomed through correctly, and then you got this here, I don't know if you can see this or not, a vacuum line coming in too that you got to hook up. You got to do all this in very little space because you got to hook all that up into there, that blower motor, and then you got to stick this thing in there, this box. And this box, see, there's where the vacuum line hooks in that, so you got to hook the vacuum line to here, and then stick it in there, and get that opening so that is dropped down into there. And I'll show you how I got to where I think it's going to work. The motor works fine now, and I had it run the other day, and it didn't blow a fuse, and all the speeds worked. Now check this out. Okay, you see that little hole there? These wires got to come through that hole, and then I'll reconnect them, to the other wires that are going to the switch to give it power. I put this thing on yesterday, this brown piece. I painted this and cleaned it up, but you couldn't get it back in. It was too tight a fit. Now, if you see this lip going here, and you see how it comes here, but then it ends, I cut all this off, all the way up and around, because it wouldn't fit back in it. I don't know, when they were originally assembling this car, I think they had, better movement or access to it. So this here, once it's up inside the vehicle, like so, with that little square hole into the other box where your heater core is, the motor will then, this will go over the motor, and those wires will come out that hole like I was showing you. I did buy a new one of these, and the one I got was also incorrect, and I just said the heck with it, and I worked with the old one. And as you can see when you spin this, it's, you know, it's all warped from heat and age. So I took a grinding wheel or sanding disc and worked on it till it would rotate, and this wouldn't contact in here. And it took a lot of sanding. And then the top was also hitting this box. You know, I spray painted in the box, and I could see where it was, you know, after putting the white spray paint in and running it, you could find out right where it was contacting. And so I sanded, you know, same field with the disc and took the edge down. Then just for extra, I took and made myself a gasket. And this is made out of a coffee can lid, you know, one of them red type coffee can lids. And it worked out perfect. And that's kind of the story here. What you can't put this together and put it in as one unit. You just can't do it. So you got to put this in and then sneak that thing in, and you know, and being in a position where you can hook up the wires and that vacuum line, you know, here in the back. And the whole deal is, it's like you're trying to put 12 inches into 11 and half, 3/4 inch space. But by cutting all this off, it now goes in way better. I was trying to, you know, just trying it before I did all this, and it was just not going to happen. It was impossible without maybe breaking stuff. And, you know, like they say, if it came out, it can go back in, but sometimes you got to, you know, do a little work on it. This thing here, you can see all the holes drilled in it. And all the holes that you see here, they are not from me. That was from when they built this at the Avanti place. And they were in a rush. And just, you know, trying to knock this thing out, because they needed to get them out the door. They didn't have time to play around. You know, they were on a limited budget, I guess you could say. It was like one of these, we got to shoot it in one shot. And that's about it. And, you know, again, you know, electric windows going up and down. That took a couple of motors, and they turned out to be Chrysler. And that kind of surprised me. And all the windows going up and down, you know, I got the door jams. They're still shutting like they should. And so we're getting there, but it's a slow process. Everybody. That box is in, and there's the way the blower motor is. Whatever you do, don't forget to hook up that vacuum line. And then these wires here, you're gonna tie a string to them so you can, you know, pull them through. If you don't have a string tied to it, I don't know what you're gonna do. I think you're gonna be like, unless these are really, really, really long, and then you cut them afterwards. But this line here, you can see these are the ends, but I'm gonna cut it off up here somewhere and shorten it. But she's about there. But it was frustrating. It was a frustrating job. Anyways, everybody, thanks for watching this video.